Yep, ready. Peace, everybody. Confessions. Peace, everybody. Confessions. Peace, everybody. Confessions. You are listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jam.
In 5, 4.
Peace, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Hope y'all enjoyed yourself the last week with the last episode. Well, listen, we got another dope one coming for you, man. Listen, it is so dope. I thought it had to be talked about. I talked about this with my people over at Writer's Block, which is the open mic that I host. But we're gonna talk about it tonight. All right, so it's gonna be about social media etiquette. So we're just going to make sure we get that together. We'll be right back on WJHM102jams.com with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea.
Guess I should have waited.
Y'all listening online through the web page. Well, not just through the web page, through.
I'll play through transition
Mm-hmm.
so you can hear that intro and then I go.
Peace, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Hope y'all enjoyed yourself the last week with the last episode. Well, listen, we got another dope one coming for you, man. Listen, it is so dope. I thought it had to be talked about. I talked about this with my people over at Writer's Block, which is the open mic that I host. But we're gonna talk about it tonight. All right, so it's gonna be about social media etiquette. So we're just gonna make sure we get that together. We'll be right back on WJHM102jams.com with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea.
Hey guys, this is TC1.
407-826-0810.
Listen to lie, y'all. Be right back. Gotta go to commercial, but I'm still live with y'all. Y'all know how it is with some people online. Funny.
We have 12 minutes. Ready?
Yep. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
In 5, 4, 3.
Peace, everybody. Again, welcome back to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Like I said, we got another dope one for you. Hope you enjoy the topic. As usual, grab your friends, grab your family members, and whatnot. Have a little round table, a little discussion on your own about what we're talking about tonight. So, tonight's topic, social media etiquette. I thought this would be a dope topic to talk about for today's show. Reason being is because, we always hear quite a few things about people on social media. Of course, you have a few that are called Twitter thugs. You know what I'm saying? They might say all that they want to say, all on Twitter, all on Facebook, all on Instagram, Tumblr, whatever. Yeah, I said Tumblr. I'm not sure how many people still use Tumblr, but yeah, I said Tumblr. And even if you want to take it real old school, Black Planet. You know what I'm saying? BlackPlanet.com and Miente. I'm not even sure if Miente still exists. And then, of course, you had MySpace. So, but listen, we wanted to talk about that this evening. The reason being, man, is just I see it all up and down my timeline. And, it's just hard to see because, well, not hard to see, but sometimes it's rather more comical, more so than anything. When you see, people can take a topic or what have you, and usually a hot topic when people talk about on social media is usually male-female relations and or, what's going on with politics or what have you. Basically, relationships and politics, they seem to be like the hotbeds for people that want to be, all of a sudden, now all of a sudden you have these people that want to come out and be Twitter thugs. You know what I'm saying? Or they go hard for their belief or what have you, but you catch them in the street and they don't say nothing, what have you. But, it is what it is, man. But just wanted to talk about that with y'all and see what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? See how y'all feel. We hear about this all the time. So I want to talk about this. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because it's like, for instance, what I do at my show, Writer's Block, we have what's called a topic of discussion. And you get to sit there, and before the show actually starts, before I call it the first artist on the open mic, what I normally do, we have the topic of discussion. The people actually get to sit there and we talk about whatever topic that is talking about. And it's interesting. It's great to see just people just, talking to each other and relating to each other in that regard, and instead of us going to blows or what have you, you can actually come or see where that other person that might have a different perspective, you actually see where their perspective is coming from. You know what I'm saying? Rather than being online, it's like you may say one part of one thing and then people go in without necessarily, people literally like go in on you without realizing the total aspect of where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, politics, right? We always talk about politics or what have you. And then let's say, for instance, someone does not believe or does not agree with what 45 is doing right now and whatever he's, whatever policy he's coming up with or whatever policy he signed into law or what have you, and then, of course, you'll have someone who is not a Trump supporter will be like, they can probably start, let's say it like this, they can probably start off on the wrong foot in terms of combating whatever somebody else has to say. And it's like, screw him. This fool right here is a, this, that, and the other, or what have you. Screw that bill. Screw that, whatever he put into law or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And instead of just coming up with a reasonable, like, look, and I'm going to try to say this as I don't want to say tough, but, with some behind it without, without necessarily going there. Let's say, like, if he's signing into law for Flint to finally get clean water, for instance, and it's probably be somebody being like, this stupid blip, finally signing this, that, and the other. And that's one thing, even though that's kind of might be how we feel, but literally, you know what I'm saying? It's a way that we communicate with each other now that we just don't do anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing now that people just go off. Now, trust me, I'm probably, those of y'all who don't know me, you can do a background check for people that do know me, and everybody will probably tell you, I'm probably one of the nicest people that you ever meet, or what have you. But, still in that regard, man, listen, there'd be some people that make me wanna go there. You know what I'm saying? With whatever response there is, like literally, you know what I'm saying? I know there's been a few posts within politics and within like relationships where, people disagree with whatever I had to say. And I'm not saying like, I'm just saying they were less than, nice or what have you. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this in that regard, we need to be able to disagree with each other without having to resort to calling each other names or disrespecting somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because times have definitely changed between when social media first started and now. Because now you have people now that will literally find you in case they really did not like something that you said on any social media website and they felt like you disrespected them. There are now people that will now literally track you down, just to either, and by all means, God forbid it happens to anybody, what I'm about to say, going forward. But you have people that will literally show up, ready to fight you, or ready to confront you in some way, shape, or form. For instance, I remember the rapper, Webby. He had somebody that said something disrespectful to him or about him online. And so he ended up calling the person somehow, and had it out. Now he did it. I would say from what I remember, he did it respectfully or what have you, and he was trying to call the dude out, trying to meet up with the dude or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden the guy was backing up. He was talking all tough online or what have you, but it just seemed like he was doing otherwise when Webby actually called him up. You know what I'm saying, to confront him. My thing is, look. If you disagree with somebody respectfully, you don't have to worry about that going forward in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You can disagree with somebody without disrespecting somebody. Now, I've been in a couple of posts, within the past couple of months in regards to music, religion, love, or what have you. And a few people, and I might add, and entertainment, I might add, a few people actually kind of got in this. These are none of the people I'm about to mention are people that I personally know or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But a few people did, kind of get a little disrespectful or what have you. And, it's just like, ain't no need for all that. Like one person, I was trying not to give this person any shine, but this one person had to question, this one person questioned my intelligence or what have you. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know me like that, in that regard, and, it's okay to disagree, but, or what have you. But, when you take it that far, like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to actually go there. Because my thing is this, and at some point, I just had, me and this person were going back and forth about religion or what have you, on this one Fox Soul video online that what's my man name? That my man Ari Spears was on, and I thought it was hilarious for a second because I got thick skin, man. You know what I mean? It takes a lot for me it takes a lot for me personally to to really get offended. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I'm probably more one of those people that takes more offense when you disrespect one of my friends and my family members before you disrespect me a little bit. But my thing is this, I come at people with respect, so I want respect. I command respect in return. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't disrespect me, and I don't disrespect you. And this one person I tried to explain that to, but she kept just like going in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, at some point, though I'm a Virgo, borderline, you know what I'm saying, Virgo, what have you. Listen, it is hard for us Virgos to not have the last word in any argument because we don't think anybody else makes sense but us. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the way Virgos think. You know what I'm saying? We tend to think that we the most logical thinking people out there. So sometimes it's hard for me to want to just let an argument go because sometimes I'm of that mind frame. I got to have the last word. But at the same time, I want peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? Because for a while there, it started to bother me. I was trying to reason with this person, and she just would not stop being like disrespectful or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So to me, she just came across as a person that, one of those hurt people. Now, that's what she came across. I'm not saying she was that way. Again, I don't know her personally or what have you, but I'm like, at least find out why I said the way, something that I said before you just go in on me, because that makes somebody, that makes somebody more ignorant, than, let me take that back. You know what I'm saying? At least find out why somebody says something before you go in on them. You know what I'm saying? Or before you, get upset at something that they said. You know what I'm saying? Because you may not know the full context in which they're saying it. Having a conversation on social media is completely different from when you're actually having that conversation in face to face. You know what I'm saying? Because I can sit here and I'm talking, I can talk with my program director here and I can actually have that conversation and it can be of some type of understanding because I hear the inflection in his voice and, the manner in which he's saying it. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't really do that on social media unless it gets to the point, which I'm pretty sure it's about to. It's probably going to get to the point where people are just going to start posting their responses through video. You know what I'm saying? And doing it that way. And I find it funny. Sometimes I find it funny how sometimes people don't actually do that in regards within a particular post. Now, we've all heard or seen like people respond to, let's say, like some of the more famous social media influencers such as Derek Jackson or maybe Jeremy L. Holloway or, somebody in that regard. And maybe you might have heard them, do what they do, the side-by-side video or what have you, and they do it like that way or what have you. That's one thing, but I've never heard or never seen anybody do a video post to someone else's reply on social media. So my thing, again, with this, when it comes to that, you really got to be careful who you are speaking to or speaking at, because really at the end of the day, that person that you're speaking to or speaking at might have been the one person that you may have needed to get to the next step in life. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're an artist of some sort, such as myself. I'm a poet or what have you. Not only am I a poet, as you can obviously hear if you're listening to me online or through the website, or if you're watching me on my live feed, you know what I'm saying? You obviously see or hear that I have my own podcast. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, I am a host. I'm also the host of an open mic. You know what I'm saying? I would probably say one of Central Florida's most fun open mics, which we hope to continue to have a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an artist like myself and you want to come to a show or what have you to, get your artistry on, you know what I'm saying? You kind of might not want to come at people that might be able to help you get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I have a podcast. I can help put somebody on a platform, to help, advertise like their poetry, their music, their comedy, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? You just never know sometimes, and you literally have to be careful because, the very person you disrespect might have been the person that you needed in order to go ahead to move to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So, you want to be mindful of that. We're going to have more coming up with this because we got to probably do this for like another half hour. We got to go pay some bills in just a second. So again, we'll be right back with the topic of social media etiquette. You are listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com.
My bad.
All right. I couldn't see where the line was.
I normally give you more warning.
No, I'm not digging up my nose. I'm on the side of my nose for those of y'all watching online. Side of my nose, not up my nose. Y'all don't think I'm nasty now. JHM 102jams.com.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Well, now I can do my homework. Thanks, 826-0810.
We need more sponsors. Sponsor this show.
I'll get rid of that annoying voice. High-pitched annoying voice.
That is Tiberius, that you probably just heard on the commercial. He hosts the Tiberius Show. He's about 8 years old, y'all. He's about 8 years old, hosts his own podcast. Don't never say anything is impossible. If you have it, he's 8 years old, right, Joe?
Yes, sir.
He is 8 years old, an 8-year-old.
Turns 9 this weekend.
Turns 9 this weekend. An 8-year-old, soon to be 9-year-old, hosting his own podcast. If he can do it as a child, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. There are ways to get into the podcast industry. You just gotta, do your research, do your stuff online, and go ahead and do it. If an 8 to 9-year-old can do it, trust me, you can too.
He's on 8 stations nationwide.
And he's on 8 stations nationwide. Check that out.
Okay, this is gonna be about 12 minutes.
Got you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
I am ready, sir.
In 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, y'all. Again, you have been listening with myself. I am Brian T. Bethea. My show, Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. If you are listening either online somehow, whether through the browser or through the app. Speaking of which, before I forget, before we go back into the topic, again, if you have an Android, download the WJHM102jams.com app right now. Go to your Play Store and listen, type this in exactly how I am saying it. WJHM102jams.com. Again, W like wagon, H like Harry, J like Jerry, WJH, M like Michael, 102jams, that's with a Z, .com. Type it in like that. Basically, you just type it in the website in your Play Store. It should come right on up, and you can download the app that way. Please, 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 do not just type 102jams or 102jams.com. It will not come up that way. It'll show up as another 102jams app for another station. You know what I'm saying? So, again, go ahead and do that. Sorry, Apple users. You can't download the app yet. You can't download the app yet. It feels so good to be bougie, when it comes to iPhone users. It's real quick. iPhone users, I swear, some of y'all be real bougie sometimes. Oh, do you have an iPhone charger? Oh, you have an Android. Oh, I scoff at the idea. No. This is our turn. This is Android users' turn to finally be bougie. Listen, the only reason is, we need for Apple to, I guess, help us out some way, somehow, in order to get the app added to their Play Store for you to download it. And unfortunately, they haven't done that yet, but that's going to soon change. I guarantee it. But for right now, anybody else, if you don't want to download, if you don't have the app, you can always go through your web browser. Again, WJHM102jams.com, but we suggest download the app. Why? Because you can listen to all of my past episodes, all that you want, as well as other episodes of all the other shows. So, going back into our topic, social media etiquette, and this don't mean just responses as well. You know what I'm saying? Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, he also put out a video like about a year or 2 years ago, involving, or just stating, just be careful of what you post on social media. Why? Because employers, I'm gonna say this for those of y'all looking for a job or want a better job or what have you. Employers, and they've been doing this for quite a while, they look at your social media pages to find out what you're about. That's pretty much part of their background check when they're determining if they're going to hire you or not. This is something that he personally said on this particular video. I know about that since before he posted that video or what have you. But you want to be mindful of the stuff that you're putting on social media. So, granted, I know some of y'all are like, man, what you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? I know y'all like looking at Instagram models, women half naked, you know what I'm saying? Topless, and all that other stuff, just be mindful. Now, for those of y'all that have your own business and and have that, that type, that type of stuff, sensual stuff or sensual things or sexual things, that's your thing. I do know people, as a matter of fact, that do things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? But that's their business. That works for them. That's fine. But if you're somebody that's looking for a corporate, a job, whether it be corporate or whether it just be, a stock person, working at a warehouse in the back, the warehouse at Walmart or Target or what have you, or for Target for some of you other folks, in case you have anything like that, you kind of want to be mindful about what you post on there so that you won't cost yourself out of it or put yourself out of a job before you even have a chance to get interviewed. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that has been happening, especially, and think about it. Look at the times that we live in. If we found out, some of the people, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, for some of those people that were involved in the Charlottesville riot or what have you. There was one guy who got called out out there. They found him on the social media. His job fired him. That's happened with a couple of people what have you, against, after a while they found out they were racist, or they put racist tweets up or racist posts on Facebook or what have you, and they literally got fired. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be mindful of what you're putting up on there, and be careful in that regard, because last thing that you want, again, because you see what happens now, they've came after a few celebrities or what have you, and they're catching backlash, even though it was from like 5, 6, 7 years ago, with a few things, you know what I'm saying? So you want to be mindful of that also, so that no one can hold anything. Actually, that's the other thing. You don't want anybody to hold anything against you as well. So if you can, I suggest you go ahead, delete certain things off your social media pages, such as your Twitter, that you can remember, of course, Twitter, Facebook, am I missing a website? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Even Snapchat, that's another thing. And look, I liked Snapchat for about like 5 days. Literally for about 5 days. Not to get sidetracked, but I liked Snapchat for about 5 days, and I just couldn't get it. So y'all might have to teach me how to do Snapchat or what have you. People be doing too many filters, though, just for my take. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people be catfishing sometimes on Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? Because all the daggone filters they done put in their daggone pictures, we can't see what you really look like. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to hide that pimple you got on the face, don't hide it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing to hide, Craig. You ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and post it. Let me see let's see your blemish or what have you. All of us ain't perfect. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? Then again, they got filters on everything. You know what I'm saying? But apparently some people just don't have filters on their Twitter fingers or their mouth or what have you. You know what I mean? Kind of sound like DMX right there. Know what I mean? Duh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sit down. Sit it down. Yeah. Listen, but again, put a filter on it of what you post a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to hurt. Or if possible, if there's a way, like for instance, there is only a way I believe there's a way you can make some of your posts private on Facebook, so that either you or your friends specifically, are able to see that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be mindful of that too. Don't make every post public or what have you. You know what I mean? And going back real quick, going back again to what I was talking about a little earlier. So I did a play or what have you, and a couple of people, I guess they, at the time they didn't like it. I'm not going to, mention, I'm not going to give them any shine either. But I happened to do a play one time, and I guess people came for me or what have you. And you know what I'm saying? Even when I was trying, bad word, trying. Want to take that word out of my vocabulary. Even when I was posting for it to get people to come out to the very next show, you know what I'm saying? I had people like literally come like, though they didn't like it or what have you. Yo, that don't mean that you get to come on my post in my space, you know what I'm saying, and say, oh my God, that poem was, and downgrade, excuse me. They didn't downgrade my performance or what have you, but they downgraded the whole production. And I'm like, yo, wait a minute, I still got to make a living. You know what I'm saying? And my director friend, still has to make a living as well. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like something, you don't like something, or what have you. But, you know what I'm saying? My thing is this. There was no need for somebody who I did not know to come on my page and my post to post something that, what have you. Or one person even went out of their way to post a negative review that we may have gotten in a negative review or what have you that we got for a particular production. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, was it really that serious that you had to take that time out your day? First of all, the fact that you even had time or took the time out your day to personally come to my page, you know what I'm saying, to post that review on my post is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is with this, there was one person who tried me with that again. And I came back with her like, look, you don't know me like that. You don't know what type of day I was having or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And just let her know, like, Yo, you don't know what somebody might be going through at that time. For you to come and personally come on my page, you know what I'm saying? Because, you didn't like or, whatever work it was in, yo, that's really ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because, what I'm saying is be mindful. Because you never know when that one thing that you say to somebody may send them over the edge. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, God forbid that happens at this point that you're listening to my podcast right now. But I just want you to be mindful. Words have power, whether it be spoken or whether they be typed. You know what I'm saying? Words have power regardless of what you think of somebody's mental capacity or what have you. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if that person on social media maybe just uses it as a form or outlet or what have you, you know what I'm saying? And you coming at them with all that negativity, you don't know if that one thing that you say may send that person over the edge to to commit suicide, you know what I'm saying? Or overdose or what have you, or just push them, or literally, you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, literally to go find you, to find out where you at, to confront you with a situation, and you may not want that smoke actually in real life. You know what I'm saying? So, always be mindful about what we're doing and how you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I can't stress this enough, y'all. Again, you want to be mindful of who you're speaking with or who you're communicating with. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me tell you a story. I don't remember the director. This is something I heard happen to on another set of like a play or a TV show or something like that. And one of the cast members in this particular production happened to be going hard at this other actor or what have you. You know what I'm saying? One way or another. And when the director found out what was happening, it was a play, actually. When the director of the said play found out what was going on, that this particular cast member was doing to this other cast member or to this other person in general, you know what the director did? He fired her. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up fired her. You know what I'm saying? And that's literally like, for me, that's what I would end up doing anyway myself. You know what I'm saying? One day I'm going to own my own business or businesses or what have you. And I can't have my people that, I associate with doing that, to other people, because that not only does that reflect on that person, that also reflects on me. You know what I'm saying? And the type of people that I hire, what have you. You know what I'm saying? And listen, speaking of which, out there, like, if you got a friend, a family member that is posting something inappropriate or what have you, even if y'all having a conversation or what have you, you got to hold your people accountable, man. You know what I mean? You got to hold your people accountable. And I know we hear this a lot of times with celebrities and whatnot, man, and what's going on with them. And a lot of celebrities will probably even tell you, like, yo, they got a whole bunch of yes men around them. Like, look, you got to have somebody that's going to have an opposing view in that regard. You know what I'm saying? You can't, even if you're going to do what you're going to do anyway, you still got to have somebody to hold you in check in regards for that. So you just got to be mindful, about what you're saying, what you're doing in that regard, because you never know whose words, the words that might affect somebody. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to be mindful of that in that regard. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to break, got some bills to pay, and we will be right back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com. See y'all in a few. Peace.
I cut you in a little bit early, but it's okay.
Okay. Y'all let me know what y'all think. What y'all think of the video. What's going on? How y'all feel? Chime on in, y'all. Chime on in. This particular episode that y'all are listening to or watching me do right now, I should say, this will be airing next Tuesday. So today is the 21st, January 21st. This episode will air on January the 28th. Definitely, if you case, but in the time being right now, y'all want to share this video, go ahead and share this video. And again, I need sponsors. Circulate this, make this go viral or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So definitely make this go viral. We can definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? And let me know what y'all think, man, and have this conversation amongst yourselves in regards for this video. So again, for those of y'all, download the app, WJHM102jams.com app. You know what I'm saying? So
Transition.
HM102jams.com. See y'all in a few. Peace.
This is Aretha Simons. When I'm driving, I'm listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jams.
All you dolls out there, this is me, Sizzle. 2019 flew by and my friends...
You can reach them at 407-898-0373.
Excuse me?
I'm talking to the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready?
We have, 15 minutes.
Cool.
We've got some extra time on this one.
All right.
Okay, your last one's short. Your last one's only 6 minutes. Okay?
All right. 1 second. Come on. Oops, didn't mean to hit my... Y'all bear with me for 1 second. We're going to come right back. I got to charge my phone. I can do all these microphones.
Just keep right across the front. Right here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Ready.
And 5, 4, 3.
And we're back. Again, you are back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com. Again, when the topic of discussion has been social media etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, because sometimes they do etiquette classes or what have you. I wonder if they have social media etiquette classes, you know what I'm saying? And if so, who would teach it? And what I'm saying? I thought that'd be a real interesting topic, and what have you, or something to add. If y'all know if they actually have those, let me know. I think that'd be really, really funny if they did or what have you. Speaking of which, with some of my friends, let me just say this. Let me just say this too, because I got to say this. Sometimes I feel like I be a little bit too nice, so for all of my friends that might be watching, I might be coming to y'all sometimes just in case I got to and somebody get out of hand with something I say. I think I might just have to come to y'all to teach me a clapback class. You know what I'm saying? Like I might need a clapback class. You know what I'm saying? Like a personal one-on-one consultation, and give a scenario like if this person says this, that, and this, that, and the other, what's a good comeback? When it's like being nice or being cordial or to try to do things peacefully just ain't working. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be just sarcastic enough to kind of let them know you don't want to go there with me because I can get more sarcastic than you, but at the same time, kind of peacefully, quell the situation or what have you. So if you don't know how to do that, man, you know what I'm saying, let me know. Because I know sometimes, I be wanting to, I don't want to say flip, but I be wanting to go there sometimes, in terms of making sure that my point is proven. You know what I'm saying? Now, ironically, what the funny thing is? If you are my friend, a family member, somebody who I definitely know like that, then I might probably go there because it might be like, how sometimes some conversations being it's just like, yo, what are you stupid? What are you crazy? Yo, come on, man, you bugging or what have you. You know what I'm saying? I might not do that with somebody I know, what have you. But, with that being said, here's another thing with social media, etiquette. I thought would be really, really dope. You know what I'm saying? When you liking, when you got to determine, just a couple of things. When you have to determine whose post you're going to like, whether it be a photo or what have you, fellas, you let me know because it's stereotypical, for guys. And I say stereotypical, meaning that not all men do it, but that's the stereotype. Fellas, how y'all feel about if you're going to like some other girl's picture or what have you. Especially if, with Facebook, you get all the different like types, like, the heart, the laugh, the sad face, or what have you. But, what if you got a girl and, you like a particular photo from particular person, even though you don't like that person like that, you know what I'm saying? Is that still too much? You know what I mean? Ladies, this seems to be a good topic for the ladies as well, especially when, you don't like when, you don't happen to like when, like, your man or what have you, or basically your significant other happens to like another girl's post on Facebook, not just really Facebook, more so Instagram, and she be like half bucket naked, you know what I'm saying? And you find out that your man likes something, do you mind that, or you just like, you're gonna want to argue with him about it, you know what I'm saying? Because I know some females that might not mind. It's like, hey, whatever, and some of them might use the excuse like, man gonna be man, or what have you, you know what I'm saying? But as long as he comes home to you, that's one thing, you know what I'm saying? Guys, do you want your lady looking at another dude who's like bare chested or what have you, with the muscles all out, you know what I'm saying? Like he about to pop through his t-shirt or what have you, you get bothered if your girl likes a picture like that, but let's put the shoe on the other foot, because, sometimes we don't really talk about that. It's not really talked about if a girl has a guy, a boyfriend or what have you, a husband or what have you, and she happens to like, a picture of a guy that she thinks is really, really attractive. You know what I'm saying? Do guys really get mad at that? So that's something to think about when it comes to etiquette. Because there be some pictures I'll be scrolling, I'll be looking. I'm just like, I am not even going to bother to look or like this picture, because I ain't not getting in trouble, not now one bit. You know what I'm saying? If I got to sound like, Trick Daddy real quick, no, nah, I'm not probably not going to take that chance and be like in this, this, perfectly, perfect picture that most men would consider, to be really, really perfect. You know what I'm saying? Might not take that chance, not going to take that chance or what have you. It is what it is. Sometimes, that's something to think about, so we really got to talk about that particular thing. I hope y'all have enjoyed this topic so far. And this is definitely a conversation piece in terms of what is likable, what is not, how you respond to some people. You know what I'm saying? I've had, let me also say this also. If you having a bad day or what have you, and you're just frustrated either with your day or either with life, you probably might not want to be on social media at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain it to you that way. Because, you might not want to be on social media because you just never know. You might just take your emotions out on somebody, for no apparent reason or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you might not be speaking coherently because you're upset, you're pissed about something that, happened to you or what have you. And instead of being peaceful about it, people are just asking you what's going on or what's wrong, what have you, or they might ask you simple questions in that regard. You snap back at them, for people that did not even deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So, I would suggest, not getting on social media to post a video. Now, unless you're upset about something and you kind of want to, even though you kind of want to vent, but at the same time, you kind of want, people's opinion, you know what I'm saying, to see how you could have better handled the situation, or you want to get somebody else's take on it. That might be a whole nother thing. But if you open up that can of worms, you can't get mad when somebody gives you a response that you might not like. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are just going to, respond a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So, that's another thing we definitely wanted to, to talk about in that regard. So what are your thoughts? Let me know, what have you. Again, you can reach out to me. Of course, we have my page strictly for my podcast up on Facebook now, which is Confessions with Brian, Brian, middle initial T, last name Bethea, B as in boy, E Is it Edward, T like Thomas, H like Harry, E like Edward, A for Apple. That is Brian Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on Facebook. At, of course, 102 Jams, WJHM102jams.com, of course. So check this out on the page, and definitely like the WJHM102jams.com page on Facebook as well. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely, like I said, we got a whole bunch of other podcasts for you to listen to as well. Just want to take the time to definitely recognize those and definitely get that out there in case you want to just follow me and watch online whenever I go live like I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but definitely, you know, and how do you, okay.
You want to pause for a second?
Yeah.
You've got